Somewhere between two cliffs, the sea itself tries to kill you. On one side, a whirlpool that swallows entire ships. On the other, a monster with 6 heads who eats 6 men, one per head, every time a ship passes close enough. There is no path through that isn't a loss. This is the story of Scylla and Charybdis, and the moment Odysseus has to choose which part of his crew he's willing to sacrifice. Odysseus has already survived the sirens. Now Circe warns him of what comes next. A narrow strait between 2 cliffs. In the first cliff lives Scylla, once a woman transformed into a monster with 12 legs and 6 long necks, each ending in a head with 3 rows of teeth. She never leaves her cave. She simply reaches out and takes what passes. In the second cliff, below the waterline, lives Charybdis, not a creature with a face, but a mouth in the sea itself. 3 times a day she swallows the ocean whole, then spits it back out, dragging any ship nearby into the depths. Circe gives Odysseus the calculation plainly. Sail near Charybdis, and you risk losing the entire ship. Sail near Scylla, and you will lose exactly 6 men, no more, no less. She tells him this is not a fight he can win. Scylla cannot be killed. The only choice available to him is which loss he can survive. Odysseus asks if there is a way to fight her. Circe's answer is close to pity. She tells him to row hard, call on no god for help, and accept that grief is the price of getting the rest of his men home. Here is the part Odysseus never tells his crew. He knows exactly what's coming, and he doesn't warn them. He arms himself and stands at the bow anyway, as if a sword could do anything against a monster with 6 mouths. His men row into the strait. Ahead, Charybdis churns. The sea rises, spins, and vanishes into her throat, then roars back out. His crew stares at the whirlpool, terrified, focused entirely on the danger they can see. While they watch the whirlpool, Scylla strikes from the cliff they weren't watching. 6 arms reach down from the rock. 6 of his men are lifted from the deck, screaming, calling his name as they're carried up to the cave to be eaten. Odysseus describes it as the worst thing he witnessed in all his years of war and wandering. Worse, in his own words, than anything at Troy. Not because of the danger to himself, but because he watched it happen and could do nothing. The ship clears the strait. Charybdis is behind them. The whirlpool didn't take the ship. The plan worked, exactly as Circe said it would. And it still feels like nothing close to a victory. Homer gives a reason he stayed silent. If Odysseus had told his men Scylla was certain to take 6 of them, panic would have spread through the whole crew, oars would have dropped, and the ship itself might have drifted into Charybdis instead, killing everyone. It's a brutal piece of leadership logic, withholding the truth from the many to keep them functioning at the cost of the few who paid for it without ever getting a choice. Ancient sailors used this story to talk about a real hazard, narrow straits like the Strait of Messina between Italy and Sicily, where converging currents genuinely can create violent whirlpools on one side and dangerous rocks on the other. Sailors couldn't outrow the sea. They could only choose their risk. That's the reason the phrase survives today. Between Scylla and Charybdis, meaning a choice where every option costs you something, not a fight to win, a loss to manage. Odysseus makes it through the strait, but the sea isn't finished with him. Next, his crew breaks the one rule that was supposed to keep them alive, and it costs every one of them their way home. Subscribe to History Max for the next chapter.